The next speaker is Amol. Yeah, Amol Lakare. Am I correct? Yeah. Manager Process Safety at UPL Limited is having an experience in process safety field. He obtained his master's in chemical engineering from Mumbai University, and he's been working with UPL as manager process safety. He has 16 years of work experience of providing process safety services in India and Middle East country. And of course, when he says on process safety, so he has worked on QRAs, fire and risk assessment, and facility siting, as well as emergency escape route assessment. So his topic is 3D consequences modeling strategy for better estimation.
So good evening all. So this topic, this topic is actually very not new, but new techniques are coming in market, and how to model the scenario in using new techniques and those things, that is actually there. But effective use of those new techniques is really good, so that we can use for better estimation and to provide better control measures in our facility. So I'll cover in this presentation, that means about the UPL, then how the scenario selection for the QRS study, then scenario selection for 3D risk analysis study, then how the impact of geometry consideration, how the impact of wind profile, then boundary layers, then plume dispersion and its profile actually. Okay, thank you. And real-time solution and what are the limitations, that means advantages and disadvantages. So in short, UPL, that means it's an international company, and UPL has started their first unit at WAPI in 1969. So almost 51, 52 years UPL is in this field, and UPL has developed their units, built their unit in Ankleshwar, then Jagadia, Dahej, and not only in India, abroad also there actually. So this is actually largest manufacturing agriculture in India and fifth largest in the global. So UPL is in insecticide, fungicides, herbicides, fumigants, and in specialty chemicals also there. So for this QRA selection actually, scenario selection actually, there are many criteria actually. First actually, which chemical we have to choose for this QRA study. Based on this is toxicity. That means, okay, if its IDLH value is less than 500 ppm or 500 ppm, okay, we can consider these things. Definitely, this is actually worst case, and again, that means if we refer some standards and those things, that means recommended practices, not standards. So they are saying that means 200 to 250 ppm we can use actually. So, but at UPL actually we are following 500 ppm and less. So if the toxicity of those chemicals are 500 ppm and less, then we are choosing these chemicals for the risk assessment. Then flammable chemicals which having flash point up to 55 degrees Celsius at its operating temperature. Definitely, if at operating temperature, that means say at normal at ambient condition its flash point is say 99 degrees Celsius, but it is operating at higher temperature, so that it may have potential to catch a fire at its operating temperature. That's why I mentioned, that means at operating temperature it should be if it is 500 degrees Celsius and less, then definitely we have to consider that chemical for the QI study. Then if high operating pressure, that means whatever, that means if chemicals flow through the pipes, then pressure transmission of the any chemicals, say CS2 and those things, these are the transfer using the water pressure and those things. That's why I use this term. Then if any decomposition or runaway reaction occurs, possibility is there actually, then that reactor we have to consider at its maximum pressure, how much pressure can build in that reactor, and whether that reactor is designed for that pressure or not. That we have to check, and then we have to consider that scenario. Then again, how much inventory is there actually? So if say petrol is there, so 10 kg petrol if spill, then it will have less impact as compared to say 1000 kg petrol release. So inventory plays a vital role in the risk assessment studies and those things. So how much inventory may release in the atmosphere and its impact, that means that we have to check. And then selection of selection number. Based on these above things, actually we have to calculate the selection number, and then if the selection number is more than 1 or equal to 1, then and only we will consider for the QRS study. So selection number is totally depends on the process or storage inventory. That means, okay, we are storing that inventory or we are operating with that chemical. So the number is slightly different. That means for process, that definitely we are handling this thing. That's why the credit is given at credit. That means worst case thing actually we are considering as 1, and if it is only storing, then it is considered as a 0.1. So that much difference is there. Then position of potential release. That means, okay, if it is in-house release or it is going to release in the atmosphere. Or I'm specifically saying that means, okay, if it is releasing in the populated area where actually more peoples are there, actually where working peoples are there actually. So the damage will be much more in that case. What is the release phase? Liquid release phase or gaseous release phase? Again, that means there are again subcategories are there in release phase also. That means based on its boiling point, liquid boiling point, at its operating condition and those things, considering its operating condition and those things. So medium liquid, high liquid, and low liquid, and again gas phase. Like that, actually 4 categories are there, and based on that, actually we are choosing this selection number. And finally, that means, okay, its toxicity and flammability of released chemicals. So based on these all aspects, actually I have prepared these things, and then we can say that means whether that particular chemical is need to consider in our study or not. So say EDC, transferring from the pipeline. That means, okay, here I have considered 37,500 kg inventory. So if we have considered that much inventory in the storage, actually, that's why Q1 is considered as a storage factor, and then it is a 0.1. Then Q2, like that, actually this worksheet has been prepared totally based on the purple book, CPR 18E. And then we arrived to selection number, whether it is 1 or not. That means here actually we can see selection number for flammable thing, it is very less, 0.001, not 0.005. But it is for explosion, it is 185 almost. So it is more than 1, that's why it is considered as a worst case chemical for the storage, and that's why it is considered for the QRS study. Like that, actually, toluene is also there, then chlorine is also there. Here I just want to highlight one thing actually. All other inventories are very higher side, but phosphine, that means, okay, if we see this inventory, it is only 18 kg. But then also, considering its toxicity and those things, actually it is comes in a S category. That means very small handling of this phosphine, it may create huge damage to the people who are working in that area. So like that, actually, this Excel sheet is there actually. And we can come to conclusion, that means which chemical we have to consider for the QRS study.
Amol, 2 minutes.
Yeah, okay. Then from this, actually, we have to do this risk analysis study, and then what are the top risk contributors are there, actually we have to choose for the 3D modeling, 3D analysis things actually. Or if any particular, that means if specific interest is there actually, then we have to choose for that gas dispersion and those things, like actually like chlorine or ammonia. So if they comes in atmosphere, then definitely if any pockets is there or if any congested area is there actually, so they may come and they may really they may trap in that area, and if any working peoples are there, they may expose to the toxic gases. and definitely explosion and those things. Whatever the shock waves are generating because of any vapor cloud explosion. So, accordingly, that means, okay, say 10 meter far from this explosion areas and those things, what the strength is coming. So accordingly, we can build a blast wall on these things. Or say mitigation measure, that means okay, sprinkler system where to suggest or not in that area and those things, we can design accordingly. So geometry consideration actually. Here geometry consideration, that means 70 to 80% if geometry we enter in the software, then definitely this 3D concept is there actually. Unless and until we are not feeding the correct geometry, it will not give a correct picture. So it is my suggestion that means okay, we have to provide 70 to 80% correct geometry to software to get correct result. Here actually, not only the equipment actually, but piping plays very vital role, because piping and piping racks actually, they are creating congestion in the plant, and it is that means chances of the explosion are going to increase because of this piping and those things. So piping also we have to consider these things, and congestion due to pipe, yeah, that's why I told. Wind profile, that means. So wind profile, we should not consider here only a predominant wind profile actually. I'd like to say that means okay, better identify the populated areas, like as a control room is there actually, which is very critical, or any working areas, or if the environment studies are there actually, then what is the nearest location so that release gas can go outside the fence. So accordingly, actually wind action we have to choose. Wind speed and those things actually, okay, we can choose as per CPR18E or actual wind data at the site and those things.
Would request you to conclude.
Yeah. Last 1 minute.
Yeah.
So worst case approach. So definitely, as I said, that means okay, worst case, that means what is the impact to the control room? Because if we lose control from the control in the control room, then definitely we are losing the control on the process actually. That's why the control room and populated area as our main focus, our main focus. As we said, that means okay, this is the 3D simulation things. It will give the real-time simulation, so that whatever the EDs are generating because of the wind and those things, it is always giving, that means okay, possible congestion areas and where actually the gas can trap. So it will be useful to identify those areas, and if any ignition source is available in that area, then definitely the vapor cloud explosion will be massive. So we can take a corrective action accordingly. Advantage, as I said, that means okay, we can use 3D modeling and analysis thing for detector mapping and its optimization. Then toxic gas dispersion, fire and smoke dispersion actually. In 2D actually there are limitations because of soot formation and those things. It is limitation actually. We can do smoke dispersion using 2D also, but here actually soot formation models are there, so better we can use 3D model. And as we know, that means okay, investigation in last some cases actually this 3D model is used as a simulation tool too. Limitation actually, so this geometry, that means, as I said, that means 100% geometry is not possible. Even 80%, how much client is giving the geometry and those things, it matters, and how much the that risk analyst is going to put the geometry in the software, that is actually limitation. So better to avoid this limitation actually, 3D, if 3D layout is available, 3D details are available, better provide those to the analyst so that the result will be on accurate level. When dispersion, that means okay, if any chlorine leak is there, or if any when dispersion, that means plume is there actually, then because of time we cannot check, that means whether that gas can go up to 1 kilometer, 2 kilometer, 3 kilometer, but in real case actually it may go actually, right? So because of this time limitation and geometry layout consideration actually, this is actually limitation. That's it.
Thank you, Amol.